Well, I'll get Philip's questions out the roll first. At the end of the season now, how do you feel heading into the finals off the back of that performance?
Off the back of the second half performance, I feel positive. Not so much the first half. Conceding from two set pieces is disappointing. Two exactly the same set pieces, to be honest. But second half we changed things and the boys came out and with a response. So it was a positive second half for us.
What did you tell the boys and what did you change up at halftime? Obviously, you made a couple of subs, bringing on Clayton and Reno at halftime. What was the message? What were the adjustments you made?
We actually changed our shape. We went back into a back four, played our normal formation, which gave us a bit more joy with the ball going forward, having two players up top, pinning their back four a lot more and creating more space for our fullbacks and obviously bringing on players like Clay and Reno, who are a little bit more technical players, and being able to keep the ball a lot longer for longer periods, I think helped us actually going forward.
And so we'll be expecting to see you revert back to that shape for that second half shape for finals now, do you
We'll
reckon?
keep it as a surprise for you, Lynchy.
Just interested in your thoughts on the atmosphere there first up. If we had a lot of Melbourne Victory fans in your corner, it must have been, interesting.
Yeah, look, interesting. Obviously, if we got a draw or a win out of this, I think Victory would have finished top. So obviously they've come to support us to try to help us get a result from the game. But look, the atmosphere was good. There was some good noise in the crowd, and hopefully that continues through the final series.
Obviously rested some players tonight. I think it was mentioned in the lineup. And I mean, what do you feel like you've gotten out of it heading into this final on Saturday? It's pretty close. It's not far away. You've got a good record against United. Is it just straight away you can throw forward to that now?
Yeah, we'll turn our focus to the game we've got to get Western United. Look, they're still a good team. They finished in a good position in the back end of the season. They've got some very experienced players. We've had some good results against them, but that's in the regular season. Finals footballs for me is a lot different. It's a one-off game, and it was good to have a second half against Melbourne City the way that we did, and it was pretty close to finals football.
Just before I throw over to you guys, just go back to Sydney tomorrow and then
Yes.
come back to Melbourne again?
Yes.
Yeah.
This will be our eighth trip to Melbourne. Maybe we should have based ourselves in Melbourne.
I mean, if you're looking big picture, I mean, this has been a season of many distractions. Obviously, been on the road, injuries, COVID, but you've managed to get in the six, and now it's literally one win and you're in the semis. I guess when you look back on this season, how do you see it? I mean, you've finally gotten here after all that.
Yeah, look, the boys are a good bunch of boys, a very resilient group of players. There was times where we haven't performed well, and there's times where we have performed well. And the good thing is we've won more games than we've lost, and we've got the required points to get ourselves in the top six. So there's been challenges along the way, and it's been the same for every team out there as well. Every team's had their challenges with their injuries and COVID and the amount of games that were played so close to each other. So look, everyone's gone through the same thing, but for me, I'm very proud of what the group has achieved to make the top six in not tough circumstances, but in tougher than possibly other teams. So our focus now will shift to the game against Western United.
Was it hard at all to keep the players focused during that period? I mean, being on the road with all the COVID, all the injuries, I mean, obviously it builds up and there is a toll. I mean, how easy or hard was it to keep the players, I guess, focused on the task?
Look, I think we're a little bit fortunate in the sense that we've got a young group. We've got a young group of boys that just want to play football. We've got some senior players that have family. Hoops. As you know, we sent him early in the season back to see the family. He hadn't seen him for a long time. Ballie's family was over here, and they went over back to the UK. Scotty's family was here for a certain amount of time. They've gone back over as well. And we've been fortunate that we've got a young group of boys that just want to play football. It makes my job a lot easier when they want to just get on the park and play.
And just one last one, I mean, Clayton Lewis getting him back today, I guess how important is that? And is he in the scope to play 90 minutes potentially this weekend, or is it still just a wait and see how he recovers from tonight?
It was very good to get 45 minutes under his belt this evening. And you can see, I think, the effect that he has when he comes on the park and when he plays for our team. So it was great to get him on the park. It was also great to get Hoops to 80 minutes as well. So, it was very important for this game where we still wanted to go out there and be positive and also get minutes for players that haven't played a lot of game time. So, look, we'll make a decision. We've still got a few days to train in between the game.
Coming into finals now, how important do you think is momentum coming into finals? Because I'm looking at it and the team you're playing, Western United, they haven't won in 3. The two teams above you, the Mariners and Adelaide, they've won 5 straight games. How important do you think momentum actually is in finals football?
Yeah, look, I think momentum is important, but at the same time, it's still a one-off game. I think you want to be playing your best football in that game because look, you have to get the job done, possibly in 90 minutes, maybe extra time, and goes depends. But it's a one-off game. Everyone will lift because it's finals football. Every player, every opposition will lift for that. So. Look, it's nice to have that momentum and have that confidence going into finals football, but I still believe it's on the day.
Just curious, you mentioned at the start that you reverted back to the way you sort of normally played. Was the initial change, was that looking at the way City lined up, was it partly because obviously you rested a couple and had to make a couple of changes? Just curious what prompted the change in the first place.
I wasn't happy with the 2 goals that we conceded.
No, sorry, I mean coming into the game.
Coming into the game, so the thought process was, wasn't too sure how much I was going to get out of Clayton. We pushed him for 45, which is great. Hoops, we probably pushed him a little bit longer than what we wanted, but it was great to get that as well. It was just with the players that we had available, how we set up for the first half, and once we went 2-0 down, I know if you guys know me, if I'm going to lose a game, I was going to lose it my way. So within the first half, probably the last 5 minutes of the first half, I pushed Wayno back up to go back to 2 9s, and then made the changes and gave the information to the boys at half time. So for me, we've changed to a 5 because of the attributes that we've had. Obviously, missing Clay and Roos are a big part of the way we set up defensively and when we have the ball. And we've adapted with Nico and Gale in the last 6 games in that position. So, we thought we need that extra player at the back to give us that cover. But look, if Clay's available, will we go back into our normal formation? We'll decide.
Did you come out unscathed tonight? No more injuries?
No injuries, thank God.
Just one last one, Ufuk. I mean, you're playing Western United, and you got a bit of a bit of a rivalry brewing there, like a bit of a fledgling rivalry. Really, no one's talking about too much, but obviously you have the wood over them too. Is that spoken about, like that? There's a bit of a rivalry forming with them, obviously with all the history going back.
Look, I think the rivalry was with the previous coach more so than anything else. Not so much Western United. So look, for us, we've had some positive results against them previously, but like I said, they're a very experienced team. They've got some really good players, and finals football, I'm sure everyone will be up for it.
Just the finish, the touches and the finish from Ben Wayne for your goal, it was pretty lovely bit of work. I mean, what does that do for a young attacker like him, especially coming into finals?
Yeah, look, goal scorers feed off scoring goals, so hopefully that gives him confidence leading into the next game.